Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World. Welcome to part 2 of my quick guitar lesson for the Sensational Alex Harvey Band song, Give My Compliments to the Chef. So in this lesson I'll be showing you how I think the guitar parts go. I don't claim this is how Zal plays them, but this is how I would play it. This is a lot faster than the first part of the song, very sort of syncopated playing as well, and there's really only 2 riffs and I'll show you how I play them. So here we go. So we finished part 1 coming from the coming from an open E to the first fret of the E, to the second fret of the E, to the F sharp note, hang on that for a bit and slide up to the 5th fret of the E. Back to the F sharp, and then we're in to the riff. Now what I'll do is I'll play it as slow as I can. It's one of these riffs that is it's probably easier to play fast than it is to play slow, because your muscle memory kind of takes over. So I can play this fast, but I struggle to play it slow, strangely enough, but that happens. So the first note is the open A string. Now the only notes we're using here are the open A string, the 2nd fret of the E string, the 5th fret of the E string, which is effectively the open A, but I just find it easier to play this one the second time, and the last note is the open E string. So the first note is the open A, and then down to the 2nd fret of the E. So it's A, 2 hits on the E, the 2nd fret of the E, and then the E open. And then up to the 5th fret of the E, which is effectively the open A string, but I find it easier to play like this. So I'll add a note or a couple of notes each time I'm playing through this. So it's 2 hits on the 5th fret of the E string. And then down to 2 hits on the 2nd fret of the E string. In fact, it's just 1, and then open E, and then back to the 2nd fret of the E. Second fret of the E, open E again. So I'll play that very slowly. Like I say, this is easier to play fast once you get up to speed. So I'll play it very, very slowly. And one last time. And then the next thing we hit is the 2nd fret of the D and G string, and then the 4th fret of the D and G string with a bit of vibrato. So those 2 parts together, slowly. And again. So that's the first time, and the second time it goes like this. So we just stay on the 2nd fret of the E, the bottom E string, the second time around. Focus my camera on my fingers here. So I'll play the whole thing slowly. One more time. change the camera angle so you can see my picking hand at the same time. Focus on that. Okay. So after we played that main riff a few times and Alex is singing over the top, we move up to this set of 4 chords. Now this is how I hear them. I guess this is part of a D chord. It's the 12th fret of the D string, 11th fret of the G string and 10th fret of the B string. Just play it once. And then move down to what I guess is part of a B minor, I think. It's the 9th fret of the D and the 7th fret of the G and B. So those 2 chords. And then we move that up 2 frets to play the 11th fret of the D and the 9th fret of the G and B. So those 3 chords. And then the last chord that I hear is the 9th fret of the A string and the 7th fret of the D and G. It's really those first 2 notes that I hear. That's the sound I'm hearing in these chords. You can play it like that. So those chords together. Quite tricky getting those. And then we move to a B pedal tone this time, which is the 2nd fret of the A string with a bit of palm muting. Play those chords again. Back to the B pedal tone. Now what we start doing is, this is the same fingering as the intro riff, but instead of starting on an open A and doing it on the E string, we start on an open D string and play the notes on the A string, if that makes any sense. So instead of doing this, we're starting on the D string and it's the same fingering. And we play the 7th fret of the D and G strings twice. So all together. Play it once more. And I think we play that about 4 times or something, and then we go back into the main riff, starting on the open A string. So what I'll do is I'll play from that main riff when Alex is doing the singing into those chords and then to the B, and I'll play it slowly. And to the end of the song, we're back into the main riff. And when it gets to the very end of the song, maybe the last 4 or 8 bars, what he does is doubles up on the D, G at the 2nd fret to the 4th fret. He doubles up on those and it goes like this. And that's it. That's the second part. I'll give my compliments to the Chef by the Sensational Alex Harvey Band. I do hope that was helpful. If you need to slow the video down because I was maybe going a little bit faster, as I've said a couple of times, this is one of these riffs which is honestly, once you get up to speed, it's easier just to play it fast because of your muscle memory and what you're doing. It's easier to play it fast than it is to slow it down and try and explain all the notes. So please do feel free to slow the video down to 25%, and that may help you understand my Scottish accent as well. As ever folks, it's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsy's Guitar World. Cheers for now.